Hello again. It is increasingly clear that London Mayor Sadiq Khan feels that he no longer even has to pay lip service to the idea that he is in charge of an English city. Why would he? Let's face it, London is no longer a British city in any meaningful way. Only just over a third of those living in the city are of white British ethnicity, something which only 10 or 20 years ago would have been regarded as unthinkable. In 1961, well within my memory at any rate, 98% of those living in London were white British. Now they are a minority in their own capital city. For this reason, Khan, a product himself of an immigrant family, perhaps feels that he can appeal to foreigners and ethnic minorities with greater assurance than he can to white British people. He tweeted 3 days ago, making his position very clear. Let me read out the tweet, to which I give a link in the description to this video. Nobody should be prevented from seeking protection because of their immigration status. I have made clear my deep concern about recent government policies exacerbating the insecurity of those seeking asylum. My message from London is clear. Refugees are welcome here. My message from London. I hope that viewers do see what has happened here. We allowed a wave of immigration to this country in the 1950s and 1960s, despite warnings from some that this was a very bad idea. These people were, of course, the so-called Windrush generation, who are much in the news today. Among them were 2 people from Pakistan who arrived in 1968, the year that Enoch Powell delivered what has become known as his Rivers of Blood speech. These were Amanullah Khan and his wife Sehran, both of whom were Muslim. They had 8 children, one of whom was Sadiq Khan. Now, this man is saying that refugees are welcome in London. Having helped to change the character of the city beyond all recognition, until just over a third of the people living there are now white British, he is seemingly determined to complete the process, until there are perhaps no white British people at all left in their capital city. The irony of this awful man's parents arriving the very year that Enoch Powell made his famous speech will perhaps not be lost on viewers. We allowed into this country any number of people who, rather than being grateful for the opportunity to live a peaceful and prosperous life in a European country, which was prepared to accept them, set out to dismantle the place and transform it, so that it no longer resembled that liberal democracy which had given them a home. Instead, many seem determined to transform this country, or at least the parts over which they can exert influence and power, into miniature versions of the countries they abandoned in search of a better life. I have no hesitation in describing the Mayor of London as a 5th columnist, somebody who has lived in this country while owing no loyalty or allegiance to it. His openly avowed policy now is to further change the nature of our capital city by declaring that all refugees are welcome to come to London. Do you think that those living in shanty towns on the coast of France will hear his words and rejoice? I do. Does anybody think that by making such a statement he will exacerbate the problem of illegal immigration to this country? After all, the leader of London has told refugees that they are welcome in the city, if only they can get to Britain. What a treacherous weasel that man really is.